Hi.
Hey guys.
What in the fucking hell has happened this week?
Well, still not as quite as explosive as I thought it would be.
I'm not disappointed. I'll tell you that. I'm not disappointed. Like I think by Friday night I was like, okay, so like it's gonna be big, but it's not gonna be as big as I'm like thinking. I'm thinking there's gonna be like criminal allegations and shit. And obviously that didn't happen. But it was really good.
What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway, Vince and Hunter and everybody at that company are fucking scumbags.
Okay, how about a specific incident?
I have two that really made me fucking mad. Really mad. So the first was when Gallows and Anderson were attempting to get all their contracts together. They had an offer from pretty much every company out there, but they were going to go to AEW, which, why? Anyway, while they were, and this was last September, they were going over their contract, and Hunter looked at Carl, and he said, Carl, when I look at you, I see your kids, which is why I can't let you go to AEW because they're not proven. And I can't let you do that. What a fucking scumbag. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I love you, Hunter, but you're fucking scumbag. But turns out they're not the only ones who had it done to them because Mike and Maria had it done as well. They're like, you have a family to think about. And here, we're a family. Yeah,
I never would have thought of it as a family.
No, never.
Mm-mm.
Like, that makes me, because I think Mike was more like, yeah, right. But Maria was like, yeah, we're a family. And then look what happened. Like, Carl and Gallows, I kind of get. I'm like, okay, they took it for the money. Like, let's be real. Who wouldn't take it for $1 million a year?
That's true.
I'd fucking take it. You take it. Like, why not? But, like Mike and Maria, I feel like they, especially Maria, was more like, oh, I want to end my career here. I want to go back to the WWE and do everything. And then look what happened. But she's pissed now. Like, she's fucking pissed now.
Really?
Yeah. She, like, cried on the Ring of Honor podcast. He's like, how dare you treat me like that? I'm like, exactly. But yeah, I feel like TalkNShop was pretty much the most explosive thing other than Slammiversary.
I'm just kind of glad to know that they don't get along with Cody.
They don't. Also, they fucking hate Heyman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, on this show, you and I, when Heyman was hired, we were like, I remember saying, I don't trust him, but he's going to be the patsy.
I thought it would be really good with him, though.
I know. But I don't trust him. And look what happened. Nobody should have trusted him because apparently I'm starting to get a theme here where, like, Heyman told these people, like, sold them a lot of shit. Like, guess what? I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make you're going to be great.
I mean, he's a really good talker, so that makes total sense.
But basically, let's talk about the Heyman thing, because the Heyman thing is something. So basically what happened was when they re-signed, Heyman was coming in, and Carl, much like Jen probably would, was like, oh my God, Heyman's got our best interest. It's going to be great. I'm a Paul Heyman guy or girl. And Gallows, much like me, was like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. And Carl's like, shh, you should trust him. He's got great ideas for us. Sorry, I can't even say it. And turns out, Heyman, according to Vince, because who fucking knows if this is true, Heyman was the one who brought them up to be fired.
Yeah, that's true. Vince could have lied.
Exactly. But here's my thought process. Here's what I think happened is Heyman, from all the scuttlebutt he heard from everybody else, Heyman was like, they're on the list. And then went to Vince and was like, here's my list. And Vince was like, sure. That's what I think happened. I don't think Vince ever I think Vince didn't even know who these people were. Honestly. He was like, all right, cool. Fire all those people. Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that too.
Yeah. But apparently what had happened was after they got this $1 million deal, there were a lot of people back there who were jealous of the $1 million deal. Jamie Noble, Michael Hayes. And they found out how much money they were supposedly making, which apparently the rumor was a lot more than they actually were making. And went to Heyman and said, this is bullshit. Why would they pay these guys so much money when they're not even that good? So basically, they're just high school girls. This whole situation.
I don't know. That sounds like any workplace, honestly.
It does, but it definitely is kind of a catty high school girl thing to do. It'd be like, oh, did you hear how much they're making? Let's go tell Heyman how much they're making.
Yeah, that just sounds like work to me.
Yeah. Which the funny thing is everybody's just like, oh my God, you're not supposed to talk about it. Oh, bullshit. You know they're talking about it. So when Carl was still very high on Heyman, Heyman said, you guys, I would never hurt you. And if you catch me lying to you or hurting you in any way, you feel free to go on the internet and bury me. Well, Gallows buried him. And Carl was just like, yeah. Basically, Gallows said so many words. Fuck you, Heyman. Fuck all the guys who talked about us. Fuck you, you stupid motherfuckers. And they told the whole story. And Gallows said Heyman is a liar and a piece of shit human being. Yeah. And apparently, AJ found out all about the scuttlebutt going on. And AJ went to Heyman. And Heyman was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, AJ? I don't know. And then AJ was like, I don't believe you. You're a liar. So then AJ went around and asked some people. And then finally AJ was like, I'm going to go talk to Vince about this. And he went into Vince's office and was like, hey, Vince, what the fuck happened? And Vince was like, pal, it was Heyman. It was all Heyman. And then AJ flipped his shit and went to Heyman. And yeah. So, but the rumor going around was like AJ was bullied backstage and all this, and he wasn't. According to Gallows and Anderson, the only people who bullied him were Gallows and Anderson, and that was only to get a bus.
I mean, I can't see AJ giving a shit if he got bullied or not.
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like, AJ would just punch him in the mouth. So, yeah, no. Yeah, I do see it, though. The only people who really bullied AJ was Gallows and Anderson to get that bus. And guess the last Raw that they attended to, guess what they were doing?
What?
Getting drunk on AJ's bus. And then apparently they called them in and they're like, hey, we need you guys to come here. And it was like 30 minutes before Raw started. And they're like, oh, shit, we've been drinking. Like, what's up? And they're like, so we want you to go out and have a match with Drew. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, here's the finish. We're going to put Gallows on the bottom and Carl on the top. And Drew's going to pin you both at the same time. And they were like, we're too drunk for this. which, and everybody's like, it's not a burial. That's a fucking burial. Are you kidding me? Like, don't get me wrong. I love Drew. Love Drew. Everybody loves Drew. I've not heard a bad thing about Drew. But what in the fucking fuck? Seriously. Like,
it sounds right, though.
It does. They're like, hey, guess what? They're like, no, we're drunk. Yeah. And then the next week they were fired. So.
Well, I mean, they were drunk.
Yeah. But they were told, like, hey, we got nothing for you. And they're like, great, let's go on the bus and have a good time. And I was like,
did they use that as their reasoning for firing them?
No. Huh. They were just like, we don't have anything for you. And that's a really large contract. We'd have nothing for you.
I'm still surprised they signed it in the first place.
Seriously. I'm kind of glad they did, though, because then they would have gone to AEW. And then I would have been Hiromu Takahashi on the ground screaming, why? Why?
Well, they teased it with that picture with the Bucks and got everybody confused.
Yeah. And then we come to find out that the Bucks hated their guts for months.
I mean, not that I would care if the Bucks hated my guts.
I wouldn't care. Apparently they did. We wouldn't care. We'd be like, eh. Well, burn that bridge. Next. But also, apparently, they they had a storyline.
In AEW?
They had a storyline for AEW already. Before they even showed up, they were like, we got a storyline for you, and it's great. So that storyline would have been the first night of Dynamite when Jen and I watched it and buried it. They were going to run from the crowd and attack the Elite.
That's original.
Very original. Don't really care about it. But
never seen that before.
I know, right? I have never even thought that would happen. So original. One of the crazy things that we found out was 2017. They already regretted signing with the WWE about a year in and wanted New Japan to take him back.
See, that just makes sense. Why did they re-sign? I don't understand.
$1 million.
Don't care. They were that miserable. Like,
well, you know what they thought was going to happen, right? They're like, oh, they'll use us here and there, but really we'll just be sitting at home the whole time getting the check. That didn't happen. So Carl thought that Hunter was their friend too. He's not.
See, this is disappointing because we thought Hunter was the good one.
I know. Part of me wonders if Hunter is brainwashed.
That could be too.
Yeah. Brainwashing. It's a serious thing. Also, either that or he just wants to keep the fact that he'll own the company after the old man dies. So, gotta mind your P's and Q's while the old man's still kicking.
That makes sense too.
Yeah. Also, Ryan Satin asked, why didn't you just go into Vince's office? Because that's what people are going to ask you. Why didn't you just go into Vince's office more? And they said that they tried. And that Gallows would pitch ideas, but then, like, other people would have the ideas, like, the next week. And Vince would be like, isn't it original? And Gallows would be like, no, because I came up with it. And then they just kind of realized that they weren't wanted in Vince's office. Yeah. And that when they would go in with AJ, he'd only talk to AJ. They just kind of stand there awkwardly like, so, are we in the conversation? Or yeah, he would just talk to AJ.
I could see that.
Yeah. Which they said, obviously, they will still love AJ, so that has nothing to do with, Yeah. The really nice thing, though, is that Impact, back in 2019, they were one of the companies that offered them a deal. And they said, that's a really good deal. And they didn't think Impact could offer them that much money because apparently the rumors they heard that Impact was dying. But apparently, it's not. And basically, they said that's a bunch of money. And there were only 2 people who went above what Impact offered. New Japan and WWE. So, and for what they said, the amount of money between the New Japan deal and the WWE deal was like a lot. It wasn't like a couple grand. It was like a lot of money. Hundreds of thousands.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. So, apparently, once they got the call that, hey, you're fired, Impact called them within 48 hours and said, hey, you want to come over? And they're like, what's the money look like? And they're like, you know that deal we offered you back in September? And they're like, yeah. They're like, you can do that and go to New Japan. And they're like, well, fuck. Sign me up. It literally went like that. I'm like, wow, it was so easy. Who would have thought? Obviously, AEW had their mouth shut for a while. Yeah. Where am I at? Oh, one little tidbit. Gallows and I both agreed that Dolph Ziggler sounds like a porn star name, and it sounds a lot like Dirk Diggler.
Are they Dolph Ziggler fans or no?
Yeah, they like him, but they're like, that's a porn star name. Why would you give him that name? His name's Nick. Why would you give him a porn star name? I'm like, thank you. Why would you give him a porn star name? Sounds like Dirk Diggler. And you know what? My mom even says it too. Like when I say Dolph Ziggler, she goes, oh, you mean Dirk Diggler? I'm like, thank you. Sounds like a porn name.
Well,
and not a good one. Let's see. Guys, I have a lot of notes. But yeah, Rocky did confirm that the Bucks actually texted Rocky, who they know is friends with them, and has a podcast with them, and said, these motherfuckers screwed us. That's kind of catty. Kind of very catty. All right. So Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened was it was about 1 a.m. when they were supposed to take off. And they were all waiting to get on the plane. And Vince, Brock, and Heyman walked by, and they're waving at people. They're like, bye, 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 fuck you, bye. And I'm like, why am I not surprised? Yeah, so they get on their plane. And they start letting them on the big plane, right? Everybody else on the big plane. And about an hour passed, and they were like, oh, we're just waiting for some people to show up. And they kind of looked around, they're like, it seems like everybody's here, but okay. Like, maybe there's some people who, aren't here.
Uh-huh.
And then an hour later, they were like, hey, there's, like, something going on with the air traffic control, and, like, we can't take off yet. And they're like, we've been sitting here for a couple hours. Like, okay, I guess. But, like, they started to feel a little like, okay, something's going on. Because they could see, like, Mark Carano and Michael Hayes, who are left in charge of everybody, just kind of like, oh, hey, like, kind of whispering to themselves. And They're like, oh, okay. So then 4 a.m., they found out that Vince pulled the plug on the Saudi feed. And then they can hear over, like, the higher-ups' headsets. They can hear people yelling at each other. And they're like, okay, this isn't good. This is really not good. Now, mind you, it's a plane of 128 wrestlers and crew. Do you think they're gossiping like fucking high school girls?
Of course.
Of course. So they're like, oh shit, like what's going on? So 5 a.m. Now, mind you, they were supposed to leave at 1. This is 5 a.m. now, and they're still on the plane. They haven't left the plane yet. They're on the plane, and there's no air conditioning. So they're still sitting there. And all of a sudden, like, Mark Carrano and Michael Hayes get off the plane, and they can hear arguing, and Gallows is like, I need a fucking drink right now. And Carl's like, are we being held hostage? What's happening? So then everybody's all on their phone tweeting, and that's about the time that they're like, okay, so we're going to get the top guys, the Bray Wyatts, the Roman Reigns, and we're going to get them off the plane, and we're going to get them a plane, and they're going to fly to SmackDown. So Gallows is like, okay, so apparently we're mid-card. Figured. They're like, yeah, I guess we're mid-card. And Gallows looks over at Carl, and he's like, they're going to come shoot up the full mid-card, aren't they? They're going to kill us on this plane. Carl's like, no, they're not. Well, at that point, they're both wanting drinks because apparently they think they're in a hostage situation. And Carl's texting his wife saying, tell the kids I love them. And Gallows is like, son, I have a ring hidden in my room. I need you to just know it's there. Fast forward 4 more hours. They're still on the plane. It is 9 a.m. Carl looks over at Michael Hayes, who's back, and he goes, are we being held hostage? And Michael Hayes is like, no, we're not. Why would you ask that? And Gallows is like, yeah, we're being held hostage. And everybody else is like, oh, like all the people who like the crew of the plane, they're like, oh no, there's just an issue with the plane. But then there's like government officials outside, and they're just like, this doesn't seem like there's an issue with the plane. Finally, 11 a.m., they let them get off the plane after being on the plane since 1 a.m. And they're like, well, we have a hotel room for you, and we're gonna let you guys get some rest. We're gonna fix the plane. We're gonna fix the plane, and then we'll leave. And they're like, okay, what else are you gonna do, right? Like, okay. So get off the plane. They get on a bus, and all of them, and they're just driving around because there is no hotel. There's no hotel. They're trying to find them a hotel. So they're just driving around on a bus, trying to find a hotel.
In Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia. Yeah. But no booze. No beers. Yeah. So finally they get to the hotel. And Carl's like, I'm going to go take a nap. Cal's like, I'm going to the buffet. Which apparently they have a really good seafood buffet. I wouldn't trust it, but okay. So they started talking amongst themselves. They're like, I really thought they were going to shoot up the mid-card. And Gallows was like, yeah, I thought that too. But then I looked over and saw Randy Orton. So then I knew they weren't going to kill us. Because, Randy's here. And finally, 4 a.m. the next day, they get on the plane and leave.
I'm surprised Randy Orton wasn't like
escorted into the private jet.
No, well that, plus I'm surprised he wasn't showing his ass.
Apparently he was pissed, but he wasn't about to show his ass with the government officials with guns outside the plane.
Well, I just meant, with WWE.
Oh, yeah. He's probably sitting there going, I'm going to get some more fucking money out of this bullshit. I love it how it's like, oh, we're all going to die. And then he looks, oh, wherever Randy's here, we're not going to die. And then they both got to thinking about it, and Gallows was like, there's too many rich, famous white men on this plane. They're not going to kill us. And I'm like, yeah, true. It's true.
Oh, man.
Oh, man is right. But also Ryan Satin was like, well, at least you won the best tag team in the world. And Gal's like, well, naturally we did. I'm like, duh. Also, they said that the food was good. The food was good. The flight was horrible. The lack of booze was terrible. The heat was unbearable. But the food was good. And then they got hella trashed once they got over international waters.
All of them?
Probably all of them. But Gallows Anderson said they wanted to get a whole box of wine and just start, like, going to town. But they decided to tell everybody that it is a rumor that Saudi is the big payday. That is a rumor. Apparently, if you're like a big guy like Hogan, Goldberg, Flair, Hunter, Shawn, all them, yeah, you get a big payday. But if you're like some guy who's just on the roster normally, they said that you end up breaking even because you lose money on house shows. So really, you break even.
Interesting.
I'm like, well, fuck that. Why would you go? Yeah. Also, when they went back to Saudi Arabia the last time, they walked out on the runway, and it was the same fucking plane as the first time when they got held hostage. It was the same plane. Same exact plane. Same numbers and everything.
Well, they were fixing it.
They fixed it. You just look, you know what? I could see it now, just looking at it and be like, I'm not going. I can't do this. Or just getting hella drunk on the way there. You know. Yeah. But yeah. This all led up to Slammiversary.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So they announced at midnight they were going to Impact and would be at Slammiversary. I screamed so loud that I scared my dogs, even though I knew what was happening.
You were just happy not to hear AEW.
Exactly. Again, I would have been Hiromu had they said AEW. I would have been on the ground screaming, why? And then ran out my door. But they didn't. So, yeah. So they went to Impact. So y'all kind of knew what was going to happen. But still, I knew. I was so concrete until the day of. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. This could happen. Oh, my God. They could go to AEW. Oh, my God. This is happening. Oh, my God. Anxiety kicks in. Because, we both have anxiety. And, something's going to turn out that way. But your mind just goes to the worst possible option all the time. So then that's what happened. And I was like, oh, fuck. This is happening. They're going to go to AEW. I text Jen and I was like, Jen, it's happening. They're going to go to AEW. I can feel it now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And
they didn't.
They didn't. So I was right every day up until the day that they announced it. And then, I don't know. I don't know why I got so nervous. I don't know. Probably because that is the nightmare scenario. Because then we couldn't watch them anymore. Yeah. On top of announcing that they're going to Impact, we got some more details on TalkNShop A Mania, including a trailer for TalkNShop A Mania. And I, for one, love the madness. The chaos is going to be amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Jen, did you watch the trailer?
I don't think I watched yeah, well, you sent me something. Yeah. I mean, I read who all was going to be there.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's going to, I don't know. You like that kind of stuff, though. It's going to be all over the place.
It's going to be all over the place. Chavo Guerrero's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Enzo's there. That'll probably be my bathroom break.
You say Enzo?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But Maria and Mike got booked.
I did see that.
But also, can we just talk about how it's going to be Sex Ferguson versus Chad Tubag in a Boner Yard match? And guess who the commentators are? Heath Slater and Hawkins. getting drunk on lawn chairs while they watch.
Quality.
Mwah. Better than WrestleMania. And in the trailer, just like, what are we watching? They're just on the lawn chair, like, what the fuck's happening? Oh my God. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, but I'm just like, oh God. I don't think everybody else is ready for this. Like the washed masses, I don't think they're ready for this.
Probably not.
No. Like, I understand the whole universe, and I'm just like, what did you do? Apparently, it's TVMA too, so who knows what's gonna happen? Oh my God. Also, like, randomly, we're gonna see the hot Asian wife hula hooping. That's her new talent, I guess.
Interesting.
I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what's happening. It's gonna be truly something.
How much is it again?
It is $14.99 now that I know the price.
There you go.
I don't feel bad though, because Gallows and Anderson didn't know the price either. They're like, it's $13.95 or $14.99 or something like that.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? How much did I pay? And I was like, oh, $14.99. That's right. Also, I think last week I said $13.99. So who knows how much it is?
Under $20.
Under $15 for the biggest mindfuck you'll ever see. And if you partake in alcoholic beverages or that of the cannabis variety, you will have a great time. You'll have a great time. And if not, you'll just be like, what the fuck did I watch? And then you'll watch it again. You'll be like, this is genius.
Just get a little higher and watch it again.
Just have a glass of wine and then watch it again. And then have another glass of wine. And maybe a shot of tequila. And then be like, wow, this is great. I'm not saying, like, if you are all like, oh my God, AEW, oh my God, WWE, you're probably going to hate it. Let's be real. But if you're like us and you just like hot mess things, such as the show, then you'll love it. It is like the, too bad we can't have a wrestling show. Again, our show would be amazing. But still, yeah.
I would book Heath Slater on my commentary.
Oh my God, me too. And I'd be like, you want to get drunk? You get drunk. At one point, I would have a 4-man booth and have us and Gallows Anderson drunk calling a match. I'd be like, take your pants off.
Oh my God.
Hey. They would
have Jello shots. We could have a tray of Jello shots.
We would. There would be a stripper pole somewhere.
Who would we put walking around with the Jello shots?
Do they have to be released? Oh, they do. Jay White's having the Jello shot tray
in a bathing suit or something.
And then at one point, there's going to be a Tama Tonga dance break, and be like, "Do your sexual dancing."
Oh my God.
Hey, if they could have the Nitro Girls back in the 90s, we could have a Tama Tonga dance break.
Could.
He could. We could have Haku call a match.
I don't know about calling a match. We could have him do something.
He has to do something. He could knock out Enzo.
He could.
I like this idea. No, you know what? Him and Tama do it.
That would be entertaining.
Right? Also, we would have to have Mojo Rawley be released because I need him to bring some energy.
He could be the Jello shot.
He could be our surprise guest.
Oh, he could walk around with the bottle of liquor, where he pours it in your mouth.
Yeah, no, I'll just be like, liquor time. Be like, this shit's going crazy. I need more. He could be our cabana boy.
Yeah.
We could have, oh my God, we could have a cabana and like margaritas.
Mm-hmm.
And he could sit with us and call a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He could. Yeah, who else I would get? I would get, now that she's, not signed, Kairi Sane. She could have a match.
True.
Dressed as a pirate. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's not all craziness. We're going to have some matches, guys. Chris Bay. I know Chris Bay. We could get Chris Bay on our show. Johnny Swinger. Yeah. Yeah. This could happen, guys. Not really. We don't have money.
No.
But if there's going to be like a TalkNShop A Mania 2 and you want a female commentary team, hey. Also, we'll be drunk.
We'll do it for cheap, too.
We'll do it for cheap. Just like, let us hang out with you and buy us drinks. And maybe dinner. Just buy us dinner. We like food.
Oh, that's true.
Just like put the corporate account on DoorDash and just let us keep getting food. Like, get us Hooters and shit, and we'll be good. Like, we are not expensive dates. Plus, we need a vacation. So. We need a vacation.
Hi, guys. It's Nikki, and we have moved to Anchor Podcast. Now, what we like about Anchor is Anchor gives us everything in one place, and it's free. You don't have to spend $15 a month on getting subpar service when you could get everything in one place for free. What I like about it, too, is you could actually get creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right in the app. Now, this doesn't change how your podcast is distributed. You can hear it everywhere, such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. And it makes everything easy for monetization, even if you don't have a ton of listeners. So if you're interested, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right. Slammiversary. So after the bombshell podcast, we got Slammiversary. Jen, did you watch?
No.
I figured. So
I read about it.
I know you did. We talked about it. The first surprise of the night was the Motor City Machine Guns.
I never thought that would happen.
I know. They weren't on my surprise list. Literally all of my other surprises came true, but that was a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
It was. And they look good.
They did.
They look good. They went against the Rascals and they won. And this is pretty much a dream match. This match has never happened. So, and it was actually one of my favorite matches on the whole card. Good match.
How long have they been broken up?
I don't think they were ever officially broken up.
Well, I mean, since Alex left.
I think it's been like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
3 years? Something like that. 3 or 4 years. Yeah. So then we have Moose versus Tommy Dreamer. And I really didn't like this match. And it's mainly because I hate Moose. Like, I didn't like him before, and I really don't like him after I found out him and Ricochet trained with Chance and Royce, who was a fucking pedophile. So, yeah, no. Also, I can say that because he was convicted, so. Yeah. I couldn't get into that match. The next match was the Knockouts Gauntlet. And the ladies in the match killed it. As usual.
Which you predicted.
There was one thing that I hated was they had, so Taya drew number 3 and Johnny Bravo came out dressed as Taya because Taya didn't want to go out. And then like Taya and Rosemary finally came out and then he came out dressed as Rosemary. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like that. But Taya had Captain Hook gear.
That's cool.
I know. It was really cool. I liked it. It was awesome. And Kylie Rae won the entire thing, and she entered at 2.
So you didn't like it because he was in drag or what?
Like, I feel like the match was like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came out and just ruined it. Yeah.
Unwarranted shenanigans.
Unwarranted shenanigans. Which that's coming from me, and I love shenanigans. But not those. Then right after that happened, Heath Slater fucking showed up.
Not surprised.
He's looking good. He's ready. They had him out there, and oh my god, I can't even think of his name. So they had one of the lower card guys come out. I can't even think of his name, and attack Heath Slater, and Heath pulled out some new wrestling moves, ladies and gentlemen, because he hasn't really been in a match that wasn't a joke in a long time, and they're teasing that him and Rhino are going to be a team again.
That'd be cute. They had more freedom to do what they wanted.
I know. We're sitting there watching it. I was like, somebody break out the crackers and spray cheese. The team's back together.
Do you like spray cheese? I used to like it when I was a kid.
I know. And now
I haven't had it as an adult, I don't think.
The thought of it just is like, no. But as a kid, I was all about that. I was like, put it in my mouth and I'm just going to have spray cheese. And now as an adult, I'm like, what the fuck? It looks congealed.
Yeah, it looks nasty.
Apparently Rhino likes it, so all right. Next is Chris Bay versus Willie Mack for the X Division Championship. And see, this was a hard one for me to pick because I like both of them. I've met both of them, and I've seen them both live multiple times. And I know Chris Bay. So that was me going, so I don't know who to pick. I think I did choose Chris Bay though, because I figured they were gonna push him. So but the match was very good. Like, I actually enjoy seeing the two of them together. And you wouldn't think, but I actually enjoyed it. It was a good match, which I think I've seen the two of them against each other before live, but I don't remember. I don't know. But Chris Bay won. So that was exciting.
I don't even know who that is. How do you know him? Is he from Arizona?
He would wrestle in CWFAZ and Party Hard.
Yeah.
And he knows somebody who's been a guest on the show.
Huh.
But I don't think they're friends anymore. But who cares? Anyway, the North versus Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock. I wanted to like this match.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to because I like the North. And I like Sami Callihan. He's one of my favorites in Impact. But Ken Shamrock just brought it down. I just couldn't do it. I was like, really? You're like 57,000 years old. Why are you in this match? No offense to him, but why? And I thought they deserved more. But Sami had to carry the whole team, basically. Yeah. And also, this is where I thought Gallows and Anderson were going to show up. And I think everybody else did as well. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is it. This is where they're coming. And they didn't. But at the end, Motor City Machine Guns came out and challenged the North for the tag titles, which happened tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about it here in a little bit because it was a good match that I would recommend. Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace for the Impact Women's Championship. Very good match. They're both super talented. I just don't like that Deonna went over so easy.
Oh, I just am shocked. We were talking about this last week. I was like, oh, I don't think she'll win. I just think she's that great.
You know what I figured? Why I don't like her, and I figured it out tonight. It's her voice.
She's boring.
Her voice, I just can't listen to it.
She's just boring to me.
Like, I want to like her because she's good. But then she talks, and then I'm like, I can't like you. Your voice is annoying.
She's just boring.
She needs somebody to talk for her. Like, she's really good in the ring.
I don't think so.
She was yesterday and was the week before. But
I don't know.
I think it's the voice and the personality.
What personality?
Exactly. So then the match that we've all waited for, Eddie Edwards versus I almost gave away one of the surprises, versus Ace Austin versus Trey versus a mystery opponent.
Oh yeah, he was the mystery opponent.
Well, let's talk about how convoluted they made this. This was the only time I said that, which for WWE I would have said it multiple times. So it's just the one time I said it. So they're like, okay, here comes the mystery opponent, and Rich Swann comes out.
Ugh.
And he's signed to the WWE. Or not WWE.
He is?
Impact.
Oh.
He signed to Impact. Sorry. He signed with Impact. And I'm like, please tell me there's another person coming. Because if this is it, this is bullshit. Well, the mystery person finally came out, and it was Eric Young.
Which you predicted it could be.
I did predict. We had 2 predictions out there, and it was EC3 and Eric Young. Also, we said Eric Young was going to win if he was the mystery person. Well, that didn't happen. But, you know what's crazy? I said it was either going to be the mystery person or Eddie Edwards, and guess what? Eddie Edwards won! Also, I figured out Sunday and then tonight, he's actually really hot.
So how did Eric Young act? Like old Eric Young from TNA?
Kind of a mix of Sanity Eric Young and old Eric Young. Yeah, kind of like it though. But you know, the funny thing is I haven't heard him talk in so long. I was like, that's his voice? What? That's his voice.
And I was like, voice.
I was like, oh, he's like 50. And I was like, he's 40. What?
Huh.
I think it's the no hair.
Could be.
Like I'm so used to seeing him with hair that the no hair is just kind of like, oh, that's different. That's new. Okay. But Eric Young came out, and he was the Eric Young of old. Pun intended. He went out there, and he was like Eric Young circa like the middle of the ODB angle. I was like, oh, look at him go. But within 5 minutes of the match started, he was bleeding.
Aw.
And I was like, is that on purpose? Were you just like, oh my God, I'm out of the WWE. Guess what my first thing I'm going to do is bleed.
Blood.
Yeah. So he cut his head open within the first 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. But the match was actually very good. And can we just talk about, there was one move in there that was absolutely insane. Trey hit a sliding Canadian destroyer. Yeah. He slid across the ring. Got Ace Austin on the apron and did the Canadian destroyer to the floor. But it was like really fast, so then it looked like holy shit. And everybody's talking about it, even Bray. Bray's talking about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But guess what? It was really fucking awesome. But Eddie Edwards won. And again, I figured out that I think he's attractive. So, hey, win-win for everybody.
What does he
Like,
look
he's
like?
attractive in the way of he looks like a normal guy that I would go out with.
Let me look.
He's an attractive man. Also, he's married, though, and his wife's awesome. So, you know, good for her. Good for Alicia.
And he's cute.
He's cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after Eddie wins, Ace Austin comes back with his giant Madman Fulton. And guess who shows up? Just take a guess.
Who?
Gallows and Anderson. So they come
What kind of
out.
music do they have? Do they have
Huh?
music? What kind of music do they have?
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like old Aces and Eights, mixed with like a little bit of like more guitar, a little more electric guitar. But also they drink like every time they're out now. Yeah, they're drinking. Yeah, I like it though. It's kind of like a Stone Cold angle. I'm like, oh god, they've turned into Stone Cold. Not bad. So Gallows comes out, helps Eddie against Ace and Madman Fulton. They pull the Magic Killer on Madman Fulton, and then they and Eddie all share a drink in the ring. And I was like, I like this. Snaps for that. But then all of a sudden the screen goes black and it's EC3. But I really did enjoy it. I thought the show was really good. It was very good. Definitely better than Extreme Rules. Definitely.
Yeah.
By a long shot. Better than Extreme Rules. All right. So our July 18th news update for where everybody is. Currently at Impact, Gallows and Anderson, Eric Young, Heath Slater, EC3, and announced tonight, Kurt Hawkins. As implied on the Ring of Honor Strong podcast, Mike and Maria may be going to Impact or Ring of Honor. Not surprised. And Sarah Logan pregnant. So the current people we are waiting on is Ryder, Rowan, Rusev, Aiden English, No Way Jose, Curtis Axel, and Cassius Ohno.
I mean, some of those we kind of know.
Rusev, I'm pretty sure, is going to New Japan. I hope
Ryder's got to be going to AEW.
I hope Aiden goes with Rusev to New Japan.
He might.
Can you imagine the Rusev Day angle in New Japan? That would be incredible. Just saying.
They'd love it.
I'd love it. They'd love it. It'd be great. No Way Jose did come out with a filmed promo that dropped shortly after midnight on July 18th. He got a really good promo. He's got a new look, a new gimmick, and there's no word on where he'll show up. Leo Rush said that he's going to have his final wrestling match because he wants to be a rapper now, and his shoot interview will be in the form of an album.
Of course it will.
Yes. Tino Sabatelli, who was released from NXT on April 15th, is on AEW Dark today. Hawkins, Ryder, Gallows, and Anderson all announced new action figures coming in 2021. Also, I thought it was really cool that, like, I don't say this a lot about Zack Ryder, but I'm just going to say it. Hawkins and Ryder's action figures have action figures. Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
I kind of like it. Then I got to thinking, does Gallows and Anderson's have beer?
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I'd buy it. I'm already going to buy them, but I'd buy it even more. Also, TalkNShop A Mania. From the trailer, we saw Hawkins, Ryder, Mike, Maria, Heath, Enzo, Chavo Guerrero. Am I missing anybody?
Hold on. There was a poster.
I feel like I'm not missing anybody. Sorry, I just looked at Jay White. Oh, Jay White. What a man. Here, I'll look at
the poster. I saw the poster.
They didn't have everybody on the poster. Here, I'm looking at. Obviously, Gallows and Anderson will be on TalkNShop A Mania, as is Rocky Romero. Which makes me wonder, will what'd you call it? Will anybody from New Japan? What? Oh, Rhino.
There.
Hot Asian Wife.
A Hornswoggle.
Oh yeah, Hornswoggle was there.
Rock and Roll Express looks like.
Probably. Because, Gallows and Anderson do think that they're Rock and Roll Express in some ways. Fake Sting. Let's see. Oh, Raven's Flock is there. Remember in WCW or ECW how Raven had the flock? They're
Mhm.
there. Also, I feel like I need to get you that Guerrero shirt that Chavo had on. What do you think?
Did I see that? Where? In the
In the
commercial?
trailer.
I mean, if it's a Guerrero shirt, I want it.
I think it's on Chavo's Pro Wrestling Tees. Yeah, Maria's in her one-piece swimsuit. Which, you know what? I love me a one-piece swimsuit.
I wish I could. I think sometimes you have to be even skinnier to wear a one piece.
I know. Oh, Teddy Long. Teddy Long's in it. Remember back when Zack Ryder was on ECW the first time and he pulled the guy's trunks off?
Mm-hmm.
That guy, the guy he pulled the trunks off, is on there, and I think he's going to face Zack Ryder. And you know what? I have a feeling his trunks are coming off. Yeah. Oh, Johnny Swinger is in it, but they didn't have him in the trailer. That's just what Gallo said, is they have Johnny Swinger in it. Which Johnny Swinger
made a gif of Maria in her bathing suit.
Chico, which is Rocky Romero as a luchador, faces Chavo. I wonder who knocks Enzo out. I hope it's Johnny Swinger. Oh yeah, and then Gallows and Anderson in the Boner Yard match. With
Yard.
with fucking I just love the part where it pans to Hawkins and Heath Slater, and they're on the lawn chairs just drinking, doing commentary. I feel like that's a mood. But anyway, yes. That is the update for July 18th so far. Extreme Rules now.
I'm still trying to find the video.
Okay, well, you need the video?
Well, I was trying to remember if I had watched it, all of it or not.
Here, I can send it to you again. Extreme Rules. Jen, did you watch Extreme Rules?
Parts. It wasn't very exciting.
No.
And the Sasha Bailey thing was stupid.
It was truly stupid. Truly stupid. Like, I just don't understand why you have to give everything to Sasha and Bailey. I don't get it. Like, one belt, yeah. The tag belts, sure. Every belt? No.
Poor
Fuck
Asuka.
no. What?
Poor Asuka.
Poor Asuka. Poor Nikki Cross. They both were screwed. So I made a list of the things that I liked because I thought everything else was bullshit. So I made a list of the things I liked. You ready?
Oh, yes, I do want that Guerrero shirt, by the way.
I think it's on his Pro Wrestling Tees. It's a good shirt.
I like it.
Number one on my list of things that I liked, because I feel like this is easier than what I didn't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I liked the intro to the show because it was spooky.
Oh, Teddy Long's there. Did we say that?
I said Teddy Long.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. yeah, I said Teddy Long. I liked the intro to the show because it was spooky.
What is part of it weird to you, though? Like the Bray is the vampire. That was weird.
I have a whole paragraph about that down here, so hold on, because I figured it out after watching it 3 times. I had to watch it 3 times, though, to figure it out. And I usually don't have to watch it 3 times. Usually I'm like this with whatever he does. This time I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But then I'm like, I get it now. I really liked the intro because it was scary and it reminded me of a horror movie. Number 2, I like that Shin and Cesaro won. It's about goddamn time.
Yes, that was good.
Yes. Vampire Bray. Originally, I thought it was the worst thing that could have happened, but then I watched the whole pay-per-view through, and then I realized I actually liked it because everything else was dog shit. So, but that's also saying something. But my only thing that I would do is I think they were trying to do, like, you know how Elvira was like campy horror? I feel like they were trying to do that, but failed, and I would have made it more campy.
But why make him campy at all?
Because if we're gonna make this show that fucking terrible, why not make fun of it?
I guess.
Yeah. But I kind of liked it for other reasons than watching the show. But hey, whatever. Also, the swamp match. I liked that he chained Braun to the rocking chair because I've had sex fantasies like that, and I like that. Yeah. Oh, and hold on. I like when he tried to drown Braun.
I mean, mood.
It's a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I liked the Demented Dolls. I feel like it was more the aesthetic that got me than the actual match. Also, I liked that they had Braun make Alexa Bliss Sister Abigail because I feel like they've not like, you know, in real life, but kayfabe have been fucking this whole time. So I like that.
So you think that was Braun's manifestation of Sister Abigail, not the real Sister
I feel like the real Sister Abigail is still a puppet, or she's elusive. I feel like Braun, because you know how much Bray loves Sister Abigail. I feel like Bray beat down Braun so much that he manifested his own Sister Abigail, which is Alexa, because he loves Alexa so much.
That makes sense.
Yes. But I like that. And I hate how everybody's saying she's a Sister Abigail, because obviously she's not, because Abby the Witch is a puppet, and she is the manifestation of Sister Abigail as a puppet. And that doesn't look like Alexa, so there you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Plus, isn't she like dead?
Or a puppet. Or dead. Or a manifestation of Bray's imagination. I can't tell, one of the three. I mean, yeah. So, also, I like that he wore the tank top and the dark pants again. That was a good look. As you can tell, I hated the match.
These are all superficial things here.
Oh, also, why? Oh, here's a couple other things. Why is my wedding reception venue in the background? The shed with the twinkly lights. Why was that in the background? That's my wedding reception venue. Also, why is Alexa Bliss wearing my wedding veil from my Pinterest? That's all I had. That's
very insightful.
Yes. It's very technical. I love how I'm like, I liked his pants. They were nice. I liked her veil. That's off my Pinterest.
Oh my gosh.
I can't lie. I hated the show. I just, again, I really liked the Vampire Bray. I liked the Shane and Cesaro. I liked the intro, and I liked the superficial things of the fucking swamp match. Everything else was crap. Also, when Seth puked, I wanted to puke too. I didn't like that, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh, man.
Oh, and the other thing, not so much on the like list, it was, where is the bar fight match? Did we just, not do that? Or did we just...
Oh, that's right.
Did we just forget about it?
That's right.
What happened? I don't know. Did somebody not show up? Did somebody get the virus?
Did Jeff get arrested?
Did Jeff get arrested? I don't know. Did Jeff finally grow a pair and say, hey, stop mocking my addiction?
I doubt that.
I doubt it, but, that was on my notes.
Good point. I forgot all about it.
Yeah. I was like, wait, where's the bar match? Also, I did put down here as well, why did they get rid of the bar? That was a really good tag team. And I kind of miss Sheamus and Cesaro together, even though Cesaro's was Shinsuke.
Yeah. It's not the same.
It's not. See, I had some insightful points here.
Well, not really about the show itself.
No. But the show itself was absolute dog shit. Also, Bray liked the tweet where I called it absolute dog shit. So I feel like I'm not the only one with this opinion here. Yeah.
I mean, that ending was pretty bad.
Yeah. Literally, I sat here going, that's it? Like, and I could book it better. You know how I would book that match?
How?
I would go, if we're going to do campy, if we're doing campy Vampire Bray, let's keep that theme going. We're just going to make fun of it. The fact that it's campy. Right?
Yeah, but I would have done it in the first place.
Okay, but if we had to book it, right? If they're like, gun to your head, like, you have to book it. Like, it can't be taken off the show. Can't be done. Yeah, you have to book it. Personally, I wouldn't have done super campy and then gone to super serious, but still put in Vampire Bray being a cheerleader. Like, if you got to do it one or the other, you got to make it either super serious or you got to make it super campy. True. Oh, I forgot one thing on my liked list. I liked that Ramblin' Rabbit put that the karaoke segment was the worst segment of all time. And then Bray said, "Shut up, Rabbit. We're not supposed to say that." And I agree with the rabbit. Ramblin' for life. I agree with the rabbit, though. That was like one of the worst segments of all time. So, shout out to Ramblin' Rabbit. I agree. So, but anyway, I would either make it all campy or all serious. You can't have it both ways, right?
True.
Like, if you're watching fucking, like, that's what makes horror movies go from like, oh shit, that's a good horror movie, to, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? This went straight to DVD, didn't it? Yes. Also, I would have had more of the occult figures, because think about it this way. If you followed Bray as much as I have, and Jen's been along for the ride this whole time, he was a cult leader, right? Right. He's a cult leader. And there was a lot of occult figures in his occult leader. So what I would do at that point is I would bring up more of the cult stuff, because he's supposed to be Bray from the cult, right? Mm-hmm. I did not see anything from the cult. I just saw him with a snake, and I don't know what the snake came from.
I mean, that sounds like a cult.
And it kind of does. But then, like, I was like, okay, cool. But then Braun set some random dude on fire. I'm like, okay, well, is he a follower? Is he just some random dude who happened upon the scene? Why is he in a black dress shirt? I don't get it. What's happening? Who's the dude?
I mean, no random dude's going to happen upon a scene in a swamp.
Exactly. But I wasn't explained to who he was. You know how I would have opened it? I would have opened the shot, and Bray is in the field. Think of his first vignette. He's in the field with the followers. He's preaching to the followers, right? Have the followers back. That would explain the random dude who caught on fire. Right?
True. Unless he's just a swamp worker.
He works on this. What is he, Bray's butler? He works on
I don't know. Someone's got to take care of things. Caretaker, groundkeeper.
He's a groundskeeper.
He's a swamp taker.
He's Bray's gardener. What?
He's the swamp keeper.
So he's the butler.
He's got like a key ring with a bunch of skeleton keys on it. They go to like sheds and boathouses and stuff.
Now, if we're going campy, then yes, he could be the swamp keeper. But if we're going serious,
he could have a little boat and he could have his own like spotlight.
And he goes on his dilapidated boat was there.
Well, he could have one of those boats with a fan on it.
A fan boat?
Yeah.
A fan boat.
Yeah, like they have in New Orleans.
Also, if we're going with a fan boat, I request an alligator.
Okay, he could have a pet alligator.
Yeah. I think Bray should have a pet alligator.
Mm-hmm, but the swamp keeper would take care of the alligator.
And you know what you name it? Allie, the alligator.
Yeah. And the swamp keeper could take care of it.
Yeah. It's Allie the alligator, because that is the best name to name an alligator. Also, it's Allie after the Notebook. So, and it's a girl alligator. Not a boy, it's a girl alligator. Mm-hmm. And if it's a boy alligator, we're going to name it
Alvin.
Yes. I like it. You get it. Yes, Alvin. Alvin the alligator, after Alvin and the Chipmunks. And plus, that is the best name to name a male alligator.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if it's a crocodile,
or
we can name it
Alistair.
Oh, yeah. But then I feel like you're going to run into Alistair Black and Alistair the alligator. I mean, yeah. But anyway, if it's a crocodile, you obviously have to name it Killer Croc after the Batman villain. Obviously. But if it's a girl crocodile, I don't know. I've never thought about a crocodile. I've always thought about an alligator. Crocodile. You know what I mean?
Christine. Like the car, the possessed car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you're Vince, you'll probably name it Charlotte Flair, but okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So you have to make it either super campy with like an airboat and like a fucking groundskeeper and a talking alligator and like Bray, being a vampire and be like, "Hi, I'm going to suck your blood." Or you gotta make it super serious and you gotta make it a cult and fucking pentagrams and shit.
Sacrifices.
Demon sacrifices. I've been saying it for months.
Sacrifice Allie on the altar.
Not the alligator. You gotta sacrifice the snake.
Okay.
Because it's a metaphor.
Okay.
Yes. You're going to sacrifice the snake, and then once the snake is done, you're going to pull Braun over to the pentagram, and you're like, "You're next." And you're going to have a butcher knife. And you're going to scare the shit out of him. And you can do this because you saw a man's eyeball beforehand. So then, anything about after the eyeball, it's okay. True. Yeah. Plus, Seth vomited. And you're not going to really stab him. You're just going to threaten to stab him. Yes. Yes. Also, if you're going to, I still would have the Alexa Bliss thing because I like that. But what I would have done beforehand is like that SmackDown before I would have had Alexa come up to me like, "Braun, don't do this. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You don't need to do this." And he's like, "Woman, I have to." And then walks off into the sunset to be sacrificed on a pentagram. And then drowned it in the lake with the alligators or crocodiles, either one.
Makes sense.
Does. See, you can't do it just like fucking whatever they did it. Plus, like, if you're gonna do it campy, like, yeah, you gotta make it absurd if you're gonna go campy. You gotta make it TalkNShop levels of absurd if you're going campy. But I feel like they we're just like, "Oh, just throw some scary shit," and then like there. So yeah, that's how I would have done it. Yeah. Also, if you're going campy, please put the puppets in. Like, we need more puppets.
The groundskeeper could take care of the swamp keeper could take care of the puppets too.
Yeah. We need Ramblin' like popping up behind a rock and be like, "Do it! Do it!" And then Bray's like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "Oh, don't hurt the boy. He's just a boy." And Abby can just sit there and be like, "Why is this happening?" And I'll be like, "Fucking mood." Or, there you go. She'll say, "Fucking mood." Yeah. Again, it's not that hard. No. I don't understand why it went that way. It's not that fucking hard. But also the vampire, it just means it should have went campy. Which, if we're going campy, it would have been a great way to end it. Like, think about it. The Firefly Funhouse match was campy. Why are we all of a sudden switching up the formula here?
That's true.
Yeah. Why? I don't get it. Somebody give me the answer to that.
Can't.
Nobody can. Nobody can. Yeah. Anyway, in other news, it looks like Kairi Sane is done.
Yeah, everybody was tweeting her and everything. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and they said she might be on the Raw that is next week, but it's pre-taped. But she's done.
You know, she's supposed to go against Asuka last night, and she did not.
Yeah. But she's gonna go home and see her man and play with her dog and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Ryan put out his apology video. It was an hour long.
Did you watch it?
No.
I wasn't gonna watch it.
Yeah. We really don't care because, yeah. As I mentioned before, Moose, Ricochet, and Ricochet's girlfriend trained with convicted pedophile Chasen Ranch. Also, at that same time, there was a video of Chasen training with a underage girl while he's a pedophile. Gallows and Anderson were on BTE. Supposedly it was a fucking flashback scene, but I didn't like it one bit.
You watched it?
No, I just saw the thumbnail and I was like, I don't like this one bit. I didn't watch it. I just said, what the fuck are you doing? And you know what? I should have watched it and then turned it off. That way it fucks with their watch time. William Regal supposedly has a huge announcement on Wednesday about NXT.
And what do you think it will be?
Probably another pay-per-view. A rumor going around, Paula Cruz might have COVID.
There's a lot of people missing.
I know. I don't feel like Billy has it, though, because she was in Peyton's YouTube video. And it wasn't recorded that long ago.
You never know.
Yeah. Sunny is back in jail.
We knew that last week.
Well, she's still in jail. Nobody's surprised.
Nobody cares.
The amount of concern everybody has for this. Nobody's surprised. Nobody cares. And there was rumors going around that the NWA was shutting down, and it is confirmed not to be true.
Well, that's good, but
Ric Flair's girlfriend has COVID. Supposedly he doesn't.
Thought he was married.
Whatever the fuck she is.
Oh.
Girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever the fuck she is.
I think they're married.
She has it. And he supposedly doesn't because he's living in the basement. And his house has 3 floors.
That's nice.
I know.
It's bougie.
Very bougie. Yeah. There was not much in the way of news, but then like everything else happened. So maybe there was news and we just don't know about it because like people are going places, people are doing things.
Maybe it just balanced out.
It just kind of balanced out. It really did. But yeah. I thought it was interesting though. Everything that happened. Oh, New Japan. There was a fucking moment that like I almost lost my shit, but then I realized what they were doing. So Evil standing in the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's sitting there and Hiromu's there. And Hiromu's looking at him and he unzips his jacket and he's wearing a Bullet Club shirt, but I'm like, oh, don't trust him. Don't do it. Don't trust him. And guess what? He's not in the Bullet Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But after the fact, there is some chatter on Twitter that Jay is getting really defensive. And Gato just said that he missed him, and then Jay got really defensive about it. And now nobody doesn't know what to think. And they're all kind of infighting, but Jay's just taking everything really literal and, like, very sensitive about everything. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, Gato's like, I miss you guys. He's like, what's that supposed to mean? And Tama's like, I miss you too. So, yeah. Jay just feels really defensive about everything.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm like, Jay, it's going to be all right, buddy. Just calm down. You're all right. I promise. Everything will be okay. Just take a deep breath. Let's see. The past tweets he said. Gato said, you're my boy. He's like, oh, now you're Evil's boy? Oh, boy. Jay, what's happening? What's happening, buddy? I swear. We'll see what happens. Because Jay's teasing he's going somewhere on July 25th. And I don't know how the fuck he'd get back in Japan right now. Especially when he lives in Florida.
It's not
Unless
happening.
he's been quarantining in New Zealand and we don't know it. And
that's true.
Yeah, it could be, but I don't think so. But yeah, he's teasing he's going somewhere. If he shows up, I will lose my shit. But rightly so. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Rightly so. Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Impact tonight. Let's talk about Impact tonight. Some quick little notes about Impact tonight. Chris Bay and Willie Mack had a rematch. It was very good. So Josh is on commentary with Madison Rayne, and they're actually married, and they fight like a married couple on commentary. The Good Brothers are there, and they cut a really good promo about how they're going to Impact now. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton came out, attacked the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers got them right back. Heath Slater still can't get in the building, and Rhino doesn't answer his phone. Hawkins is an Impact, as we mentioned before. Eddie Edwards coming out looking like a snack, talking about how he's going to have an open challenge for his belt. And then Eric Young comes out, and he says he made it so that Eddie Edwards is the champion, and now he's going to get his belt back, which I don't know why it's his belt. He was gone for 5 years. But Trey Miguel will get the challenge next week against Eddie Edwards for the belt. EC3 showed up and destroyed Moose. I was happy about that. Gallows and Anderson were attacked by Reno Scum in the parking lot because they were paid by Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. The Wrestle House starts next week, which is Big Brother for Wrestlers. Sounds like a good time. Next week, we're going to get Reno Scum versus the Good Brothers in their Impact debut, and Eddie Edwards versus Trey for the Impact Championship. And we have new tag team championships. Motor City Machine Guns beat the North.
Yay.
Yay. Mike and Maria were on Ring of Honor Strong. And it was actually a really good listen. I actually felt really bad for them. For how they're treated and how people treat them.
I don't know if I feel bad for them because, I mean, they re-signed too. Like, I don't know.
I think my thing is, I think Mike re-signed because Maria wanted to be there so bad. You know what I mean?
But why, after he talked about how bad everybody treated him when he was in rehab and all that? Like,
but he wasn't in rehab.
Or whatever it was. He said,
when
like,
Maria
nobody called
had her
him.
Rehab.
When he said that nobody called him to check on him and all that stuff. Like,
but here's the thing is, this is what I'm really thinking is Maria just kind of was like, I need to end my career here. You know what I mean? Like, she had this idea that she had to end her career in the WWE. And I think he just, when you're married, you do things for, your spouse.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
so I think maybe that's what he did. And because I think it makes sense because when they were called, Mike was like, I know it's going to happen. Like, he's like, and I don't really care. But, like, when it happened to Maria, he got really fucking upset because, like, what happened was, like, when they called him, they were like, hey, Mike, because obviously Mike knew that people were getting released. They were like, hey, Mike, we're going to release you. Mike was like, all right, cool. Like, he didn't really care. And then he was, like, going to hang up the phone, like, no, wait, we need to talk to your wife. And then he was like, you motherfuckers, how dare you? Because she was still on maternity leave, too.
Right.
So I think, like, that had a lot to do with it as well, as she kind of thought, oh, they're not going to fire me because I'm on maternity leave. You're not technically supposed to fire anybody on maternity leave.
Right.
But obviously they don't care. And I felt bad just for the day that it happened because, like, they had gone to a doctor's appointment for their son, and he's 2 months old, and, like, it was a good day, and they're getting all this good news that their son's healthy, and then, like, that happens. So I felt bad. I mean, yeah, they shouldn't have re-signed, but like, I can kind of see why Mike would have done it. You know, happy wife, happy life.
I get it, but at the same time, Maria shouldn't have been on the internet running them down either. If she ended up re-signing, like if you
Maybe
really
they
wanted
thought that they weren't going to, and then the Brinks truck was backed up, and then they're like, "Oh, all right,
maybe."
Hey, money talks.
But that wouldn't be her wanting to end her career, though. That would be money.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, look at Gallows and Anderson. They were visibly pissed.
Yeah.
And they still resigned. So, money talks. I mean, when you have a kid and you don't have a retirement account and you got to take care of your kids and, you know, make sure you have enough money to like live the rest of your days. I get it. Like, I get it. But
That's true.
I think maybe also they were lulled into this sense of, oh no, we're a family here. Think about your kids. Think about your livelihood.
It's true.
I think they were maybe lulled into that. Not so much by Vince, but maybe by Hunter. They were just like, you know, like that. And also Mike did say that Hunter kind of was like, oh, well, we'll find a spot for you. You could go to 205, which he said he loved being on 205. Like he said the difference with 205 is you get like, because Vince and Hunter, I mean, Hunter cares, but Vince really doesn't give a fuck about 205. You can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. Like, nobody really ever looks at it. So you could go out there and do whatever you want.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he was like, he loved being there. And he kept telling Hunter, like, I want to go to NXT. And Hunter's like, okay, well, let me talk to Vince and let me see what I can do. And Vince kept telling him no. And that's why Hunter was like, oh, well, you can go to 205. And then he really loved doing 205. And then they're like, oh, hey, we need you on Raw to do the storyline with your wife. Yeah. So it kind of was sucky because, you know, he actually did really like being on 205. You know, he enjoyed it. Probably if they kept him there, he probably would have, and not fired him, obviously, but he probably would have stayed around longer.
Right.
You know. Plus the guy who helps Hunter lead 205 Live, Adam Pearce, he's actually one of the old showrunners from Ring of Honor.
Huh.
So, like, Mike knew him and had, like, a good relationship with him.
Right.
So, and he was still, like, he had that Ring of Honor mind frame, which I could see it. If you, like, stay and watch 205 Live, a lot of their matches are kind of like Ring of Honor matches. I mean, when Adam took over, but, you know. Which, because the last time I was there, we saw Mike. It had to have been. Yeah, it was the last SmackDown we went to. I think Mike had a match on 205, and it was really good. It was a very good match. Which, like, that, I remember looking at my brother and even saying, that was better than the matches on SmackDown. Like, that was better than the matches on SmackDown. I'm confused. So, but, you know, I really think they're going to go to Ring of Honor, and I think Mike even said, like, just the thought that he could go be a wrestler again and not a sports entertainer, like, that's just worth it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you know, I think probably the company, WWE, probably put a lot of ideas in these guys' heads, like, oh, well, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make any money. Your lifestyle, you know, you're not going to be able to have your same lifestyle. You're not going to be able to do this. Your kids aren't going to be able to have this. Like, I really think that was a lot, which is super petty. Like, if you're discussing business, you shouldn't bring people's kids into it.
Right. That's true.
So I think that probably had a lot to do with a lot of these people. Because even Gallows and Anderson said everybody they know that has been released got a call that said, hey, we'll bring you back for a fourth of what you were paid. And every single person, you know what they said?
No.
Fuck you. Other than, I think, Drake Maverick. I think they probably offered Drake and he went.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody else has been like, fuck off. Don't talk to me. Which is good. They should say fuck off. I don't think they should. You know, you need to, unfortunately, you need to gamble on yourself.
Know your worth.
Know your worth. You need to know how much you're worth, and you need to, I mean, if it comes down to gambling on yourself and what you can do and your talent, then you got to do it, you know? I mean, look how it worked for FTR and Mox.
True.
They're in a better place. Look how well it worked for look how well it worked for Kenta.
How is Mox and FTR in a better place?
FTR is doing really well. Unfortunately. I hate to say it, but as well as you can do when you're under the ceiling of the elite, I should say. And Mox is only doing well because he really doesn't have to show up.
It's true.
But I mean, if you look at Japan, let's look at Japan. Mox bet on himself and went to Japan. How well did he do?
Good.
Kenta, I think, is probably one of the better examples.
He's in Bullet Club now.
He's in Bullet Club. He's entirely happier. Like, you could even see it. He's like, you know, I think people just need to realize when you're in the WWE, your happiness accounts for something.
It's true.
Like, if you're just going to be pissed off all the time, what's the point of being there? You know, you just have to... Shit, I hate to say it because I hate the guy, but TJP's even doing better. Austin Aries isn't, but I think he digs his own graves.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when we thought he was hot?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
He opened his mouth.
Yeah. What a dick. Guys, like, I look back at, like, all this stuff that we talked about, like, when we first started the podcast, and I was like, what were we thinking? Like, really, what were we thinking? Like, if you look back to where we started the show and to now, it's like night and day difference. We were all like, oh my God, I love the Young Bucks. Oh my God, the Elite. Now we're like, they're horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so funny to me that I'm just like, oh my God. If you only knew. And we were like, oh my God, this wrestler, we saw them. Now we're like, yeah, we saw them. Cool.
A lot's changed.
A lot has changed. And yet a lot has stayed the same.
True.
Yeah. A lot.
For one, me about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
In the bit like always.
Also, us being thirsty bitches.
That's true.
Yeah. We need to have more episodes where we're thirsty bitches. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. Because those are fun.
It's very fun.
Those are very fun. So, anyway, guys. So, I think before Jen goes to sleep, I think that is all for today.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. We had a lot to cover. Oh, also, Shawn Michaels is 55 today. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Shawn Michaels. You are now qualifying for AARP.
All right.
All right. Get those hotel discounts. That's just weird.
It is weird.
It's very weird. Anyway, no, that's strange. That's a strange way to end the show. But hey, whatever. Anyway, next week, I hate when we say this because then shit always hits the fan when we say this. Maybe there's gonna be a break where we can be thirsty bitches again.
There might be.
There might be. Because next week, I think all we'll cover, it looks like we might only cover Impact.
Hmm.
That might be our only, New Japan. I think that's going to be it, though.
We'll see.
Maybe, hopefully, more time to be thirsty bitches. What? We have fun when we're thirsty bitches.
Oh, that's true.
We do. We at least have fun. Maybe we'll record when Jen has time and we'll drink some drinks and be thirsty.
I still want to read 50 Shades of Grey, but I have to get a copy of the book.
Do I need to go to the thrift store?
No, I need to see if I can find it. I haven't been able to find it except on Amazon for like $50.
Fuck that.
I
Seriously. I bet we could ask on Twitter and people would be like, I have it. You can have it for free.
know. Probably.
I was thinking about, like, if we did a Patreon reading Twilight. But, like, when I read it, I'm not going to do it, like, legitimately reading the book. I'm just going to be like, okay, then Bella was a psycho bitch. And
paraphrase.
Yeah, and then she ran into the forest. Oh, look, Emmett showed up. He's, like, one of the best characters.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, let's be real. Emmett and Alice and Jasper had their shit together.
It's true.
So did Rosalie. I feel like she's very, like, misunderstood. She is.
True.
She is. And who knows, maybe... Oh, we missed another birthday. Mojo Rawley's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
It was his birthday. Yay. That's an important birthday.
It is. I'm sure he had a great time.
I don't know. The bars are closed. I'm sure he found something to do.
I'm sure he had his own bar at home. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. Oh, well. But yeah, I mean, think about it, guys. He had a birthday. Shawn Michaels has a birthday. It's Jen's favorite men in life. So and Jay White having a birthday, and we'd have a great time.
That's true.
Yeah. Plus, it's my brother's birthday on Thursday, and his wife's birthday on Saturday.
Huh.
Lots of birthdays.
Sounds like it.
Tons of birthdays happening, guys. Just not ours.
No.
No. Not yet. Guys, I'm going to get Jen, like, the best birthday gift. It might just be a shit ton of Carl Anderson shirts, but it's going to happen.
Hey, that works.
Yeah. I'll get her the soft fit tank top, and she'll just love it. But anyway, guys, hopefully we can be thirsty bitches next week. Because I need some time to be thirsty. I'm bored with my life. What I am. Like, Jen never wants to be a thirsty bitch anymore, and it just sucks.
I never have the energy to be a thirsty bitch.
She
That's
doesn't.
the problem.
And I do. So then I'm like, who am I going to talk about it with? Damn it.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's kind of a mood.
It definitely is.
Yes. So, Jen, you're going to get, like, some sleep and then drink, and then we'll be thirsty.
Okay. But we'll need some talking points. You have to get some.
Well, yeah. There you go, guys. I'll put it on Twitter, too, but send us some talking points of being a thirsty bitch you want to hear us talk about.
Oh, gosh. About wrestling.
About wrestling, not about ourselves.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it will kind of be about ourselves, but not about our selves.
Right.
Anyway, until next week, we bid you adieu.
Bye.
Bye.